Hey, good evening. It's Monday, September 11th, and welcome back to Everyday Talk 24/7. Wasn't able to be with you on Saturday, so that's why I say, Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow. In this case, last Saturday it didn't work out that way. But I want to think tonight on this remembrance of 9/11. Where is our real hope? And when things happen to us in life, when this life seems to crash down upon us, and it may be dramatic and impact the whole country or more, as it did that September day 22 years ago. Or it may be something personal in your own life, where something just as catastrophic and devastating happens to us in our own world, relationally or otherwise. What is our hope and strength? What is our refuge? What does God have to say to us? I think Psalm 95 has an answer for us. I'm just going to read verses 3 through 7 of Psalm 95. And it begins with saying, "Come, let us sing before the Lord for joy." Why should we do this? Well, verse 3, "For the Lord is the great God, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him." That's why I chose that title for the thumbnail tonight. The magnificent mountains, they belong to God. This God who loves you and cares for you and orchestrates all the things that happen in your life. He's so powerful that these mighty mountains belong to him. For the sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. This is our God. Now, what the psalmist does is it takes us from these grand, beautiful themes and brings it right down to where you and I live every day, especially when things are hard. So verse 6, he says, "Come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care." See what the psalmist is doing here. He goes from these mighty mountains that God rules over, that God contains, that God owns. As it says in verse 4, "In his hands are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him." That God, that great, glorious, and powerful God. Come now, let us bow down before him and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are under his pasture. We are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. We are the people of his pasture, and the flock under his care. This God, who holds the earth in his hands, and the massive mountains belong to him. He's the one that cares for you and me. And when these devastating things happen, the 9/11s of your life, we all have days that we can't forget. We have days when things have been so devastating to us, or so meaningful, or so impactful, that they live on. Even on those days, the psalmist comforts us. Our life is to be about worship, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. See, brothers and sisters, that is always our reality. When you and I feel alone, lost, devastated, that no one cares, when we feel abandoned, this portion of Psalm 95, and so many other passages, but this portion in Psalm 95 speaks to you and to me. For he is our God. We are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. The one who owns the mighty mountains, they belong to him. The one who formed the sea, the one who formed the dry land. He's the great God, the great King above all pretend gods. He is the one that cares for you and me. We are part of his flock, under his care. And even with all the horrible things happening around us, that never changes. So tonight, don't be lost and have no hope. Rather, rejoice that when you see the ocean, when you see the mighty mountains, they belong to God, and that powerful God is the one that's caring for you and me right now. And he's our strength. He's our hope. And he's the one who gives us hope for tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Psalm 95. It's a great place to be because he is our God. And Lord willing, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. Thank you for watching. May God richly bless you as you seek to live for his glory.